The public service in Kenya has been the basis on which, as a country, we have stood. People go into the public service, they do a fantastic job. Many of them are very professional and very committed people who need, and that's my second point, Kathy, who need trust, leadership that they can trust. Because the trust deficit in the administration is uncoverable. The distance between what they say and the truth is uncoverable. That people need trustworthy leaders, people they can trust. That if they tell you this is going to happen, it is going to happen. That's why I don't want to spend so much time criticizing others. I would like to spend more time saying, in my view, we would like to have a trustworthy government, a government you can believe, a credible government. Whether it's foreign policy, you know, our country, Kenya, over the years has been known for three things: stability, reliability, and credibility. That you know what we tell you is credible as a government. The reason why we are an anchor state in the Horn of Africa and in East Africa is because our neighbors trust us. Over the years, they have trusted us. The largest UN office in the south is in Nairobi. We have very credible relations with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. How on earth can we be the ones arresting opposition leaders and returning them at night to their countries? These things are hurtful to our image as a country. They affect our citizens, especially those of you who live outside the country. If today you were a consultant, a Kenyan consultant in Khartoum, working for a UN agency, how would you be comfortable when that government probably thinks you are a citizen of a hostile country? And it is unnecessary, the things we need to do. So, Kathy, I think the difference would be, I am interested in, and I believe there are many people in Kenya who are looking forward to honest and trustworthy leaders, people they can believe and people they can trust. All of you wonderful people grew up in an environment where you know viongozi wa kitaifa, wakubwa wa serikali, wakizungumza mahali pale waseme, kuanzia mwaka ujao, mpango wa elimu utakuwa namna hii. Kila mtu anaamini hakika, hivyo ndivyo itakuwa. Lakini tuseme ukweli, leo watu wakisimama pale, ahadi tumepata ahadi kama maelfu sijui 15 na hakuna hata moja, nothing. In 2022, just before the elections, I was invited to a meeting by Archbishop Ole Sabit and the Anglican bishops. And I spoke to them, this video clip that has been doing rounds all over. The bishops asked me questions about, you know, the budget, saying 5 billion, 2 billion to see border, I don't know which billion is to who. They asked me, I said, these are lies. You're just being lied to. I said that 3 years ago. And Kenyans, it has come to pass. And I said, the Chief Justice invited us to a meeting in Naivasha of the National Council for Administration of Justice. Everybody was in the room, including judges of the Supreme Court and the DPP, the entire justice sector was there. Then I was asked, including the late Chebukati who attended the meeting, I was asked this question about money and campaign finance. And I said, you know, this Washwash business we are seeing here, some of these people doing well on the campaign trail are people who are on the Interpol list for Washwash and money laundering. If we are not careful as a country, we are going to launder into elective offices up to 40% of these characters. And we will pay a price for it. Today, my colleagues, those of you who are in the finance sector, you know we have been grey listed. 3 weeks ago, the EU also listed us as an insecure financial transaction environment. It has never happened since independence. And the reason why I was very surprised about that EU one is that we are the only country in East Africa on that list. I want to be diplomatically sensitive. Sitaki kuongea mambo mengine niseme, unajua hata Burundi haiko huko. Ta Somalia haiko huko. Sisi tu ndio tuko huko kwa East Africa. Sisi ndio tumeandikwa hapo. Tunafanya ujeuri wa fedha pia tunafanya. So these are the issues. This is the reason why I would like to run for president, because I believe Our country deserves and should get better. Our country deserves and should get better leadership, in my view. And you're not going to bring it from Mars or from Jupiter. The people are there. They are willing and ready to serve their country. What they need are leaders who will go and work. I have not arrived from heaven myself. And you know, I am not one of those who carry around a big Bible ambayo inaweza kukuangusha. I go to churches there every day, singing songs, hymns, trying to pretend that I am holy. I am a sinner like you. It's just that I am a realistic sinner who will say, who would like to do his work and get his work done. That is it. Who will not make excuses when I'm supposed to deliver services, and who is willing to level with the people of Kenya and tell them the truth, as it were. We know when Gen Z happened, the demonstrations against Finance Bill 2024 in June 2024. First of all, I asked very many people, and you know, the privilege I have is that you cannot hoodwink me. I think, as someone said in this room, the late John Michuki and myself are probably the most consequential ministers of security in independent Kenya. I was there for 5 years. I know our capacity and I know what we will do. How was our parliament overrun in broad daylight, and parliament is 2 kilometers from State House? So, and then MPs were scampering for life. What is shocking to me to this day, honestly speaking, and you Kenyans, I mean, this is something you should ask yourself questions and answer. No one has asked the question, what actually happened and why? Because in ordinary circumstances, we should have had an all-parties parliamentary inquiry, where all parties come together, have a parliamentary inquiry. In fact, if I was president that time, I would have worked with the leader of majority and worked with the speaker to have an all-parties parliamentary inquiry. Why? It would have given me an opportunity as president to listen to the Gen Z and to have an opportunity for them to ventilate so that I understand what is actually going on, have the parents come there, and it would have given us an opportunity as a country to do deep dive and soul searching on what we had not done that caused Gen Z to get to that point. So, we did not do it because viongozi wa kitaifa think they know everything. Then 25th June came, 2025. We lost more lives. Then Sabasaba came. We lost more lives. And my brothers and sisters, we cannot continue that way. That is not how we are supposed to live. And in all that, you can see irresponsibility, dereliction of duty, recklessness. And it's best demonstrated by the language you have had leaders use and the sentiments that you hear leaders using. I was shocked in this day and age, 63 years after independence. There's somebody who talks about tribes. Where do you live? I mean, those things, nobody talks about those things anymore. I asked some friends last night where we were having dinner, which one of us goes to hospital in Kenya and you are sick, you are very, very sick, you are shivering in your car, but then you ask people, please check on the list, what's the tribal background of the doctor on duty before I go in? Because you just get in, you are treated, and sometimes you don't even know the ethnic background of the fellow who's treating you. But until you are treated, you go away. Why should it matter? When you walk to a bank, for example, in Kenya, you go to Equity or a family bank, you want services, you go to the teller. Do you first of all ask, by the way, where do you come from? Before you ask, it's transactional. You just fill out your papers or you discuss your loan and you go away. It doesn't matter anywhere else. Why should it matter when it comes to making decisions on the leadership of the country? It's because some of us, tuko na shida fulani, sijui ni ya kurogwa ya huko nyuma, which we should never, ever, ever as a country accept. And that's why the young people in this audience who are listening to me, Gen Z is an opportunity to step into the third wave or the third generation of leadership in Kenya, modern Kenya. This is what is going to give us, this thinking and this approach is what gives us a modern country. A country where the content of your character matters more than your surname. You know, the values you hold, the delivery of services is more important than your surname. Because all those primitive things where your surname is supposed to lead you somewhere, so that if your name is Omolo, then I make a decision whether or not you should pass through this gate.